Nice. Nice.
It was so hard. 2, 1. What up, everybody? This is Pigkaso's Basement, episode 7. We're on 7? Damn.
Ooh, lucky number 7.
Yes. Yeah, lucky number 7, everybody. So, as always, Richie loves yo-yos. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all this good stuff. Some of y'all, I think only half of y'all don't subscribe. So just subscribe to the channel. Support your boy. It's the BS Show, your rapper. I do this for y'all. I love you. Not like Donald Trump loves the rioters at the Capitol building or anything, but I love you. And right now, this is a very special episode because this is for the first time on camera that I have a very close family member on, this beautiful YouTube channel of mine. So sitting next to me is, you want to introduce or should I introduce?
She's your guest.
I'm supposed to, but it's like you're not just any guest. Like you're not like, you're somebody very close to my heart. So I want to do your name justice. I don't want to just say some random stuff and then people like, oh, that was whack ass intro.
You done already fucked it up. So.
Now you just.
All right, so beside me is my sister. My amazing, gorgeous, wonderful sister.
I really need a sound bar, but until then.
Contrary Candice.
Wow.
We tried. We did it together.
We did. It's a team effort. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm here. Like.
Yeah. How's life treating you?
Life is alright. I mean, I just recently quit my job.
Can you move that mic a little bit closer to you? Yeah, I got
Move
you.
the mic. Let's just take some. We're taking practices here. We gotta make sure everything's good. Quality's correct. Look.
Hear her.
And hear her.
Pretty
Yeah.
singing voice.
Yes, the pretty singing voice. So pretty. We got the Mariah Carey octave right there.
Oh my god.
So again, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I just recently quit my job.
Yes.
Wow.
City.
Oh,
You know.
yes.
And I feel so stress-free. Life is good. I have no complaints.
What did you do for a living?
I work for the city. Let's just say that.
Right, we're gonna say the city.
Because if I say the department in which I work for,
It might.
that's controversial.
Yeah, we don't really want
And
that.
I might need my job back
That's
in
pretty.
about a year.
Yes.
So I ain't trying to burn no bridges
Yes. So
until then. Once I have my new job. Then,
You took a leave.
yeah.
took a nice year leave. So right now, trying to get back on our feet, revamping. Coming back young, fresh, dapper, and new.
Yes, I guess. If that's what you want to call it.
That's. I mean, I'm trying to big you up here. I'm trying to make you look like.
Do you quitting your job, was that because you needed it up here mentally? Like you needed a break?
It's very emotionally and mentally stressful. The job itself is just, it takes a lot out of you emotionally already, and then mentally, and then it was a lot of mandated overtime. Then the people you have to deal with. The people of New York City are the most ungrateful damn people, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Because I had to work with the people of New York City in their emergency situations. That should kind of give you a hint of what I did, but I'm not going to say it. And, I used to be such a nice person. I used to be such an empathetic person.
Used to?
Like, I would see, like, a homeless person in the street and, like, feel bad and, like, harbor all of this, like, energy for them. And, like, always try to help my fellow man. After I had this job, I was like, fuck everybody. Now I see stuff and I mind my business like I never minded my business before. Like, people fighting in the street, somebody punching, like...
Somebody punching.
Let me mind my business. This has nothing to do with me.
Facts, man.
Because there's so many people who, like, see stuff like that and feel the need to call the authorities, but then don't want to provide them with the information. They're like, oh, 2 people are fighting in the street. Okay, what do they look like? Just get here. Ma'am, the cops are not going to run up to you and be like, were you fighting in the street? Were you the person who got punched? Like...
And it's scary enough being a police officer. People don't get that. They never get the just due that they deserve. And I get it. I think there's black sheeps and bad people. Isn't there a bad person in every family?
Yes.
Isn't there a bad person in every church? Isn't there? You know, there's always people come like that. We come bad and we come good. Unfortunately, some people I got their job is to take care of us. It's the hardest job in the world, to take care of another person when some of these officers can't take care of themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when he gets called to a scene, he's already busted mentally.
Exactly.
He's already like, fuck, I was just eating lunch.
And it's continuous, like it's nonstop. And also, these people are putting their lives on the line for lives on the line for us.
Lives on
you know
the
what I'm
line.
saying? At the end of the day, you ain't giving up your life for nobody else, are you?
Fuck
these
no.
These people go into these emergency situations and they're putting their whole life on it. They don't know if they're gonna go home today. It could be a nice regular day, nice chill day. They go to respond to a call, and next thing you know, they're shot, and then they're dead. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've learned a lot of respect for the police. I mean, of course, like you said before, there's a lot of bad apples in the bunch. You know, but that don't spoil all of them. Because I know a bunch of them. I met a bunch of them. They're cool. The ones that I met, at least. But there's some I have met that you're like, yeah, you've been doing this way too long. It's time to retire.
Your energy's really fucking up.
And that's one thing. I do believe that officers, they should get evaluated. Like, I think that the same way drivers should get evaluated after like 40, I think they should get evaluated to see if they're able to be on the road anymore. You know what I mean? Like, can you mentally hack it? Are you going through too much stress? Are you going to kill somebody? Are you profusely drinking? Because around that age, you start to slip. So now you're trusting a police officer that has seen 10, 15 years of crime in his brain, and you think that he's mentally fit to hold that gun and that badge every day of his life? No, I think they deserve to, because they take care of us and watch us, they deserve to get help, even if they don't say they need it.
I agree.
So, no, go ahead.
No, and they provide like certain services for, you know, those cops. Like there's employee assistance, there's all types of, you know, resources that they can get into. However, some people feel they don't need it. I feel like it should be mandatory.
Yeah.
Like after a certain point in time, it's mandatory. You need to go visit these people. You need to have this conversation. I mean, because they always have it. I think it's 24/7, if I'm not mistaken. But just because it's there doesn't mean you're gonna use it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But yeah, you could bring person to the water, but you can't drink it for them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so, what would be like a take if you hear things like in stories about policemen, like the Blue Lives Matter movement, the whole black people die from police and get murdered, and the police per capita is like destroying the country and stuff.
So the thing about Blue Lives Matter shouldn't be a thing. And as much as I, like, you know, I care about the police and XYZ, at the end of the day, you get to take off that uniform. A black person doesn't get to take off their skin. So that's why Black Lives Matter. You know, like, Blue Lives Matter, I could quit my job today, and when I take my uniform off, I'm not a cop no more. I'm a regular civilian in the street. You know, you're not going to live and die by your shield. Whereas people who are black people, my people, I'm saying, like, they can't take their skin off. At the end of the day, I can't just like, let me take this, you know, let me unzip. Let me be a Asian man tomorrow. Like, you know, like,
It's weird.
It's not gonna happen though.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the difference between Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. In terms of police brutality, I believe there's a lot of police brutality, yes. And when you watch some of these videos, it's really hard to stomach because there are certain protocols and things that cops should be doing that they don't do. And sometimes I do understand, I'm not going to say in all situations, I do understand why cops do what they do. Because sometimes it's in the heat of the moment. You react differently in certain situations. And in regards to shooting people, most of the time I don't believe that people should be shot. Because you have tasers, you have the baton, you have all these other instruments that you could use.
Yeah,
and your main thing was like, let me pull out my gun and shoot this person.
You don't have to go there.
Right? Like, because shooting, okay, it doesn't mean that they're gonna die, but at the same time, you're shooting them. Most of the time, you're shooting to kill. You know, you're not shooting to. Let me just. And then the thing about it is like, people are like, oh, why couldn't they shoot them in the arm? Why couldn't they shoot them in the leg? Why couldn't they shoot them, you know, in like a smaller part of their body to get them to stop? When you learn to shoot, you're shooting for the larger mass of your body. You're taught to shoot for the main part of your body, which is your chest.
Stomach, the chest.
You know what I'm saying? The bigger parts of your body. That's what we're aiming for because that's just the easiest target.
It's the most now-moving target. Like when somebody's running at you, you talk about shooting in the arm. It's hard to shoot somebody in the arm when they're running at you like this. When you're like running straight forward, it's just in one place, so it's an easier hit.
Exactly. So they're gonna go for the bigger target.
But
so like,
it's ridiculous. Like I understand. Like to be a police officer, like it's extremely difficult. As they've been saying, it's like it's very. Not only time consuming, but it's like the mental pressure of dealing with like having to react to time to knowing if you should pull out a gun, knowing you should pull out a taser. It's difficult. Like there's been times in my life like I thought about wanting to do the NYPD when I was like younger because I always saw how like a lot of television shows make it look, and I thought like I'll be a savior for New York one day, and then over time after all the crazy stuff like how corrupt like a lot of different NYPD, not even NYPD, just most police organizations across America. It's like absolutely crazy. And, you try to, live in a world where you think you're going to be safe. And then you realize the people that you want to protect you are trying to hurt you or trying to kill you. And you want to, you want to reach out to them when the situations happen to you. But, it is what it is. I think like, for especially us here living in New York, we need a better system for like mini social programs. Like police need to be policed in some aspect. It's like we just can't rely on the citizens zap all the time when we see some shit popping off in the middle of the street somewhere and thinking that catching them on the phone is gonna do something, like giving them a desk job after they just killed somebody. That's not how it should be. These people need to be on trial. These people need to be reprimanded in the worst possible way because you're taking somebody's like, thou shalt not kill. It's in the freaking Bible.
That's the number one thing that people get angry at the most with everything. Like, it's weird. We know in the Catholic Church there's raping going on. We know in our politics there's corruption going on. We know all those things. But the one thing that they really don't allow is killing. If you kill, you should not get away with that.
You shouldn't on any level. I don't care who you are.
So how is it different from like us killing? So what's the difference between like if we can't kill, when we kill animals for food? Is that not?
That's a whole Richard, you're going down a rabbit hole.
This is I'm just trying to expand on my whole conspiracy theory mind. Like,
okay, and just for the record, I'm not a cop. I'm not retired as a cop. I didn't do anything.
No, she's not
related to
no relations to cops whatsoever.
Because like I was thinking about what I was saying before, and I'm like, wait, time out. I don't want people to think I'm 12. I'm not 12.
This is a personal opinion from her personal. So I wish I was 12 again. Shit, I would do my whole life so fucking different.
No.
He don't get it.
No, I get it. I know. I get it with the police thing. I was just off on a tangent thinking like, damn, I remember being.
Because I'm about to say, Richard, that's not.
No. I'm thinking on my own like tangent outside of like policing, because policing, sucks.
Policing is a lot, and it's a lot of different layers and a lot of different, levels to the policing. There's good cops, there's bad cops. There's a lot of dispatchers out there who, shout out to my dispatchers, love you guys.
Facts.
It's just a lot. And I feel like if people really had this conversation with the police, because I feel like just from Jump Street, people often have like a fear of the police, or they have this like misconception that the police are like out to get them all the time because of the what is it? The neighborhoods they grew up in? Mm-hmm. Because if you grow up in a certain neighborhood, like most people grow up like that I know were in the South Bronx, so they automatically have this whole like, fuck the police ain't shit, because their cousin got arrested or whoever, their baby mama, XYZ. Yeah, anything. And so that is carried down from generation to generation. Like my cousin never had any type of altercation with the police, but he don't like the police. And I'm like, why? Oh, because in 1999 they arrested my brother. I'm like, but what
about you?
What did that have to do with you?
Like, was he doing something illegal?
Yeah, he do something illegal. Yeah, he robbed the liquor store.
Okay,
Sir?
that you should be arrested for that.
I don't understand.
That's shoplifting.
You're not telling me why you hate the police. He committed a crime and they arrested him?
Shit, knowing our fucking family.
Don't make no damn sense. Yeah, oh man, we're filled with
we
criminals.
come from a very interesting lineage of criminal masterminds.
And I am in no way condoning like the police.
What does
doing all
that mean?
We don't want to get to that.
Wait.
We don't want to get
What
to
is-
those stories
What
yet.
does that mean?
But, all right, I'll say this. For me and my sister, and like you, like how we're like very humble and we appreciate everything in our lives. There's certain, I get with every family. There's like certain family members that just are as lucky or just rather be belonging to the
They rather
streets.
choose crime.
Yes, I'm trying to say it the nicest way I can.
Our cousins, the people who watch us, know our relatives who are. I don't want to say that they grew up in messed up backgrounds. They weren't as fortunate as we were because
Okay.
we come from a pretty. I don't want to say privileged either.
No,
Like
we're not.
upper lower class, where like
Yeah,
they're like
yes,
lower class.
Like we know we
Your
have.
parents worked for it.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have the means to like live in NY, but we're like probably on that border. Like fuck that, we all might as well just move to Florida at this
You
point.
know what I'm saying? But like our cousins, and that's not an excuse because my father came from that same location where a lot of them come from. My father's from Spanish Harlem, and he grew
a
up
body,
without
old son.
his father in his life.
Yep.
He grew up in poverty, drugs,
Single parent home,
single parent home,
7
You know what I'm
siblings
saying?
and shit.
And he made a life for himself because of the choices he made. Versus like some of his siblings who chose the alternate path. Oh, let me go into drugs. Let me go into this. Let me go into that. And their lives ended up a certain way. So I feel like when people tell me, oh, it's because like my dad wasn't in my life, or it's because I got addicted to pills or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you make your own choices. And I'm a victim of substance abuse too. I'm not going to lie. That shit was hard. You go through certain things in your life and, you get yourself in certain situations. But at the end of the day, I ain't blame nobody but myself. Because I'm the one who made the choice to go down that road. And there was always times where I could have pulled myself out of it. I knew I could have, but I chose not to. Exactly. I chose to continue abusing the substances. I continued to do what I did. And I had nobody to blame for me. I couldn't blame my parents. My parents raised me right. I'm the one who made the choices. And I grew up in a certain environment and I've been around certain things. Those were my choices to be around those things. I always had the choice to not do it, but I did it anyway, So whatever.
You made the choice to stop as well, though.
Yes, I made that choice to stop, and I stopped, and then I got my shit together.
Yep.
And I don't ever want to go back.
Nope.
Like, why would I want to put myself in that situation again? Because I know what it's like to be at the bottom. And I never want to be there again.
Well, it's like if you.
And that's what that life brings you, ultimately, like, it does suck. I also come from that. I come from that. Those, like, that type of seeing addiction and crime-ridden, and we have to be better. Like it's up to us to be better. But they had to fail and put those images for us to see to be better. It's like, it's not really a win-win.
It's like you can make your life how you choose you want your life to be. Like I know there's usually like a lot of outside forces because they, like with upbringing and the environment you grew up on. But at the end of the day, you always have a choice of how you want your life to be. Like if you choose to stay at the bottom, you're gonna always be around people who are at the bottom. You're gonna grow up around people from the bottom. But it's like there's usually, from what I learned from what I've seen in my life and from like what other people tell me, there was always that one particular person or a group of people that they were around that were going on the right path. Yeah. But then they said like, no, I'd rather just be where I am because I'm comfortable. Like I'm complete, the complacency of it, like just wanting to be here. I'm scared of change. I'm scared of wanting things that I don't know what's going to happen if I try to do good. And it's a dark situation, but I'm fortunate that people are able to get out of that life and want things for themselves, not only for themselves but like for their family, and they start kind of building better relationships with people. They want to like have they want long-term friends. They want to like be in healthy relationships, like man or woman. They don't want to be stuck in that squalor. And I respect those people that do that.
Yeah, man. And people, once you get to the bottom, the people that you know want you to stay in the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, once you get a part of that life and you're in that life and you're at the bottom with these people, they do
don't want you
everything
to
in their
grow.
power to keep you there.
Yeah.
You know, and if they see you trying to do better for yourself.
Yeah.
You
like,
know?
and I don't think it's like fully their fault.
No.
It's
They're
like
comfortable and they like
and
their
everybody,
comfortability.
yeah, like everybody. You don't have to be what your environment makes you out to be. It's hard to understand that shit though. Like growing up hating the police and not knowing the reason why. Growing up having like addicted parents and not knowing the reason why. Growing up poor, not knowing the reason why. Like it makes you very resentful and bitter towards life. But you still got a choice to make whether or not to be that way. You know what I mean? You can get up and always make a change. I hate people that feel like, oh, I'm stuck or I can't. You're never stuck in life. Like, there's homeless people that make over $250 a day.
Exactly.
And that guy got a problem. He's on the side of the highway like this and shit. But he's getting paid $250 a day. He can manage that, but you feel helpless because you decide to stay trapped in four walls. Because I did that a lot of my life. I locked that bedroom door and I stayed harbored in my bedroom for a good 5 years of my life.
Yep, that was me.
And it just went by
Like that.
fast. But it was filled with every emotion. It was filled with influence. It was filled with learning what to do. And it showed me that, yeah, I'm good alone. But it doesn't mean I want to be. You know what I mean? And what makes me feel better is bettering myself with people around me. Bettering myself, watching other people better themselves. I tell you all the time, like, it makes me feel good to make people feel good. And I think I get that from having a rough upbringing to where I feel like maybe my parents didn't put me first all the time, or second, or third, or fourth, or fifth,
20th.
or fifth. Oh shit, am I even on the list?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it got to the point where I know why I'm bitter and cold, but I know why when I care, I give more than two shits.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah. And like Kanye said, your attitude determines your latitude. You know what I'm saying? You always got to have like a positive attitude. And my father tells me this all the time, and I'm sure when he watches this, he'll be like, "Oh, Candice." But anyway, like your attitude will change your whole like outlook on things. Like if you go into it with a fucked up attitude, your whole day's gonna be shit. You know. And the people you keep around you, if they're all negative, all that energy is going to be absorbed into you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep positive people around you. I learned a lot in 2019, especially because I had a lot of people that I kept around me that were both bad and good. But I have a certain level of discernment where I could separate the two. You know, I kept some of the bad people around only because like the length of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep people around because you've been friends for so long and you know...
They know you know them?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily that like I fed into their negativity because I always try to be a positive influence in their life. But then eventually they become like siphoning of your energy. Like they siphon all of your positive energy until it spins into a negative.
That's a good analogy.
So I was like, analogy. I'm done with this shit. So I cut those people off. And like in 2020, even though it was a shit year for like the world in general, I felt so much at peace because I didn't have those people in my life anymore after 2019. And 2019 was already a hard year for me. I lost my grandfather.
Sorry to hear that. Condolences.
Yeah, you know. And I'm sorry, it makes me sad when I think about it.
Yeah.
He was the man.
He was what?
He was the man.
He was the man.
Oh, the man,
He was
man,
the man,
yo.
right, Rich?
He was freaking awesome.
A shout out to you grandfather,
Yeah,
the
Papa,
fucking
we miss
man.
you.
Yep, miss you, Pops.
I love that.
And also when you lose somebody, you realize who are your real friends too. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my grandfather, we were never like, you know, close. We weren't like best friends.
Like,
you know?
it's like he was around a lot, but not like around like to a point where he was like, hey, let's all go somewhere together. He was always just in the front yard with his newspaper, minding his business.
Listening to his old salsa, his old school like
just
music.
jamming the fuck out. He's like, I lived my life. This is the rest of my life right
He marched
now.
to the beat of his own drum, retired, you know, living his life, you know. But my grandfather was a great man because he was a great grandfather. He was a great father to his kids. He always had words of wisdom. Sometimes they were like weird words of wisdom. Like he would just say the most random stuff. Remember, he used to be like, salt peanuts, salt peanuts.
Yeah,
like
something
mad random. And I used to be like,
What does that mean?
What does salt and peanuts mean?
I don't know.
I don't know
it's
to
an
this
old
day.
Song. I never Googled it or whatever the case may be. But
Like he grew up in the 50s,
Grandpa,
60s.
I guarantee you guys ever have kids or anything for yourselves and shit like that, you guys are gonna be saying that same bullshit
like
for
he
no
would just say
salt
the
and
most
peanuts. Salt and
random
peanuts.
stuff. It used to be so funny.
That's
but
amazing. That's
he
good.
was like the coolest, like the coolest grandpa. And when I lost him, like I didn't realize how much it would affect me. Because you feel like when you're not close to somebody, losing them, you'll be all right. Like you'll be sad, but it won't affect you as much. When I lost my grandfather, like it was just a void. I felt numb, and then at the time I was working this horrible, stressful job.
So
So I'm like, I was all fucked up. And you figure the people that you were there for most would be there for you. Boy.
shit.
The people who I least expected to reach out to me, reached out to
Yes.
me,
Yep.
bought food to the house,
Same thing.
cared, like would check on me every single day. There were people who I considered my best friends at the time. Nowhere to be found. Like ghosts in the wind.
Yep.
Not to say that my real best friends weren't there for me, but the people who were like, oh, I love you, oh, I care about you, oh, I'm always going to be there for you, weren't there for me. And it hurt. Because if the roles were reversed, I'm the first person, to reach out, to come over, to help out. That's just the type of heart I have for people. Because I give because I know what it's like to not have shit. I give because I know what it's like to have nothing. So I give a lot of myself. When I call you my friend, I mean it. Like you are my friend. We're soul bonded. That's it. And any of my friends can attest to that. 100%. If you're my friend, you know this already. My family, I'll go to bat for Richard. I don't care if me and him just had the biggest argument in the world. If he calls me, oh, Candy, I need you, I'm there. This is my brother. I'll kill for him.
Of course.
I will kill for him. I will kill for him.
So watch out, ladies.
I will break somebody's hand.
Watch out, future wifey.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I will kill for my brother. I will kill for my sister. My mother, my father, anybody blood related to me, I'll kill for you. I don't care if we don't even talk. Like, if you my cousin and you calling me, yo,
Shit, I got
like,
your back.
oh, where you at? Like, I'm gonna pull up.
They in Vermont.
There's certain cousins that I won't pull up on, and
He just
y'all
tried to
know
pull a
who you
card.
are.
He just tried to pull a
But
card.
for most of my cousins,
They don't watch the
most
show.
of
I
them,
checked them.
already
They don't
know.
watch the show.
He
So
just tried to pull a card.
So.
oh god.
But that really showed me who I can count on, who I can rely on in 2019. I really feel like I had like a breakthrough there. So now when I approach people and when I meet people, I'm cool. Like I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet until you give me a reason not to be nice to you.
Of course, that's
Trust.
mostly
That switch goes like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's mostly the case with most people that are the nicest people in the world. They're the nicest people in the world until they aren't.
Yep. Like the last thing you'll remember about me is me being nice. If you cross me.
Yep. Like even with me after that whole experience with like grandpa passing, it's like I had people that said, "Oh, we feel bad," and people who actually met my grandfather and know my grandfather, and he always show love to them, like especially like I gotta say, like my grandpa, any type of girl I run to the house, he will always be like the first one, like, "Oh my, who that right there?"
Yeah,
He'd
man.
be like hugging
how-
them and like driving.
How old
the
was
house.
Grandpa?
He was
How old was
78
Grandpa?
when he died.
78.
78. Wow.
Yeah, when he died. Yeah.
Wow.
October 13th.
October 13th.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
At that point in time, like a lot of few friends reached out, but like the friends I thought that like actually knew, like personally met my grandfather, because it's not like every day I bring like everybody to the house to like meet my entire family. There's people that I've known for
Years and haven't been here.
years and never been here, don't even know what my dad looks like. So that's how serious we get. So it's like for them to like not even reach out, or they'll make up like some excuse to say, "Oh well, where is he? I'll go see him and stuff," and then they just like pretty much ghosted even before and during and after he passed. So it's like, why the fuck do I even bother to give you the time of day all these years? Like, you were a piece of shit.
See, how would your, and I know it don't matter because you guys are here. He's not here. God bless the dead. But how would your grandfather ask you guys to perceive those views, as far as
should you even care about who was really there for you, or just really notice one who was and how much of each other you guys have through his influence and what he left you guys? Fuck the people that aren't there, that don't put in the work, that don't even give them a, like, for me, I don't even give them an energetic thought, because I want to take the betterness of what the people that I love and the people that I miss, I want to take the betterness of what they meant for me and to me. I don't want to bring any negative thought on the thought of their life. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's why it's just like,
I mean, yeah, like, but like the thing.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
You like, I'll break a sentiment. You know, when my sister was dying in the hospital, she had they told her she was in a coma for 2 weeks, so they told us that if she woke up, she might be a vegetable. So my mom made a decision to just for them to put her to sleep. So that day, you know, everybody know my sister was in the hospital for a year. Anybody that's my friend, anybody in my family, you know, I think only 2 people out of the people, mind you, all my friends had a hand in raising my sister. We used to come over my house, cut, play games, like I'm 11 years older than her, so you guys could imagine. You know, they all had a hand in raising her. And now, when she's sick and there's a chance she might die for an entire year, where I'm losing sleep, my mom's losing sleep, back and forth from the hospital. You think one of my friends, wherever the people to drive me to the hospital, because I didn't have a car. You think one of my friends was one of the people to drive me to the hospital? No. You know, you think one of my friends ever came to see this little girl that they seen raised from 1 year old on? You think any of them? No. To the point where she died, when I get home, one of my friends is at the house feeling guilty like a piece of shit. Then another one shows up. And I, as a man, even with tears in my eyes, tell him straight up, like, don't cry for me now. Don't cry for her now. She's gone. It's done with. I'm not mad at you. I eat that. You live with it. And that's how I left that situation, because for you not to show you care, and it's fuck me. It's not about me. It's about watching this person that you seen grow up. I don't give a fuck. My worst enemies. If I've been beefing with you for 40 years, what do generals do with their rival dies? They usually go to their funeral. You know what I mean? Because it's a matter of respect. It's like, you go to your worst enemy's funeral if you've known them for that long, and you've seen this life, and you couldn't give a little bit for a year. People are like that. That's why I told you I learned not to begrudge them. Yeah. But on a lighter note, I did want to, and it's good timing, I did want to give you a big appraisal for the way, like, you take care of your brother. I've only known you, maybe a week. That was my first time I met you. So this is a second encounter, and the way you take care of him, it gives me goosebumps, because that was me and my sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a heavy influence on everything she did, and it took my uncle to tell me, like, don't be so sad about her death, because everything that she did while she was living, she took that from you. You know, so it touched me. And then when I get to be close to 2 people as yourself, that you just seem to complement one another in a good way. Like, you guys look out for each other. You guys care about one another. You guys come from a good family and don't take it for granted.
I don't, not at all.
But yet you guys are honest people with the way you live your life. Like, she just quit a fucking job. You know what I mean? Because she's like, this is stressful. And she's a grown woman, where in an economy where people are scratching for work, she's like, nah, my peace of mind means more. And I think that speaks to the character that you two both are. So, like, pleasure meeting you two, and good shit to you for being a great sister. You know what I mean? Always treat her like the queen she is. And if you need somebody to die and you don't want to do it, just give me a ring, you heard? I'll body somebody for you.
Me and Richard always had, like, a good relationship.
Yeah, we never had, like, a relationship where we thought of, like...
Who's older?
I'm older.
She's older.
By how much?
2 years?
20 months. Jinx.
Right.
Was there
Was there any ever like jealousy between the two at
Oh,
any time?
always. I always felt jealous because I always tell my mother when I was born, like they just tossed me aside like an old sweater after
Yeah, me
Richard
too.
was born.
Yeah, me too.
Because Richard was like the golden child.
Yeah, my sister was too.
You know,
I had a lot of
like,
problems
I used to
growing up.
always beat up on Richard. I remember like
I couldn't do
stealing his
that.
body.
I had a sister. I couldn't touch her.
I used to like beat up on him, and he used to just take it. But then after a while, he started getting strong. So I would cut it. I'd be like, nah, okay, now we need to stop. Right? We used to box.
Yes.
Me and Richard used to heavy with like box, like
We were
fight each other.
We were playing it like a Tyson fight. Like we're gonna
Word.
fight tonight, like in our
and
bed.
we would just be like,
fight in the bed, like bap bap bap.
yo, like fighting, like for real, like not even
Blood
kidding.
sport,
Like,
first blood
fighting.
match and shit, like wrestling.
That's alright.
Yes, we used to box each other, or we used to fight each other.
Yeah, we used to share. We shared a room for
Oh
a
my
while.
god, we
That
shared a
shit-
room. That sucked.
Alright. How long did you share a room for?
We shared when we moved to Parkchester.
And we moved here in 2000.
2000, and we moved here.
What did y'all fight over in the room?
Nonsense.
Dumb stuff.
The dumbest shit on earth.
Because he broke his bed. Because we had like one of those beds where it was like
Yep.
two beds and one of the beds could slide underneath.
You slide it open.
He broke his bed so his shit would be on the floor.
Yep. and there was a spring.
You would pull it out of the whole thing would fall?
Yeah.
Yep. And there was a spring like in the middle of my
used to be
mattress that would
scratching him.
scratch me. I would have like mad cuts on my leg every morning because we were that poor that we couldn't find new beds.
And our parents used to beat our ass, okay? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why we are the way we are today. Because a lot of kids today don't get disciplined.
Nah,
Nope.
they don't.
They
just get their
you
game
could tell
taken
who
away
got
from them.
disciplined and who didn't. Because I don't mess with my parents. Our parents used to whoop us.
Yep.
And this one over here used to hide behind me.
Yep.
Like, let's say, like, I have my back to the wall, like, I'm covered up, like, because I knew what was coming. He would climb in between, like, the crack between the wall and me to get behind me so that I would take the brunt of the hit.
But we had that sleeping bag, so we
It's a
never
good
felt
shit,
anything.
Rich.
Thank God.
That's
I don't
how
know
you
why
show
the
you
fuck we
care, my
got sleeping
brother.
bags in the first place.
Because we went, like, didn't we go camping?
I think I don't remember ever being in a forest when as a kid.
I don't know, but whatever. We had sleeping bags.
We had sleeping
those
bags for some
sleeping
weird
bags
reason.
Were heaven sent.
They were
'Cause
fucking-
Our dad used to tear us up. My dad used to get like superhuman strength. Remember the time he lifted the bed?
Yo, I remember one time I was running like into my room under my bed. I was like, oh, he's mad big. This one, my dad was a lot bigger. I think he didn't have no strength. This motherfucker with one hand lifted the entire bed like on some Hulk shit and whooped my ass with the other hand.
No way.
Yes, see, I was
My
scared.
father was the disciplinarian most of the time.
So
Yes.
you tried that?
So-
As
As
nice as he
Tear
is,
us
and
up.
everybody knows how nice my father is
Right,
and
my
everything.
dad is so cool when people beat me. Like, oh, your
Childhood
dad is so
was
nice.
different.
Childhood dad was different.
Childhood dad, young like Robert in his youth when he had superhuman strength was
That's
totally
hilarious.
different than he is today.
And my dad, I'll never forget this one time. I was in high school, and he was like in the living room area of where the apartment is, and I was walking towards my room, and I said something real slick out of my mouth, and he said, "What the fuck did you say?" I was like, "You heard what I said." I don't know what possessed me. The devil overcame me. I don't know, like whatever. I turned around to see what he was gonna do, because then I guess like the fear in my heart came back. He had thrown a deodorant, and it hit me right in my eye. He had that good of an aim that shit popped me right in my eye, and I had like a broken blood vessel all in my eye. I had to go to school like that. People were like,
Was he apologetic?
No,
No, never way. He worked our ass
I
for a
deserved
purpose.
it. He didn't do it because and sometimes he would feel like bad about it, depending on the level of severity he felt. he had.
girl.
Like one time he hit me with the hard broomstick, all because I didn't want to clean my room.
Yo, pops. I don't know if there's a statute of
Choking.
limitations on fucking up your
Like
kids.
I remember, like I just didn't want to clean my room. So you better clean your room now. I'm like, no. And then out of fucking nowhere, he just kicks my door down.
Wait, was this before she got her ass whipped or after?
This is
Before.
before. So this is
So
before.
you didn't learn your lessons?
No,
No,
apparently not.
we obviously did. He comes in the room and just hits me with the hardest like wooden broomstick, like not the. Fortunately, he switched it because he was hitting me with the hay part of like the old
Yeah.
broomsticks, and then he switched it, and then he just started shouting
hay
some
part.
shit like, "You better fucking clean."
Clean
He said the hay
He's
part.
like, clean, motherfucker, clean. Oh, and there was one time I was playing with my cousin. I was playing with my cousin video
I'm
games.
dying.
No, this is a real good one.
This is hilarious.
I was playing video games with one of our cousins.
All right.
And like my mom's like she was telling me like I had to get something out of the car. I'm like 13 years old at the time. She's like,
All right.
You get something out of the car. So I was like, no. No, fuck you, mom. And that was the worst decision I ever took in my life. He burst into the room with his fist.
Okay.
Started jabbing me on some Mike Tyson shit with my cousin sitting next to me.
Okay.
Going bop, bop, like.
Because you want to talk that shit?
Yep.
You want to talk that shit?
I felt everything. Like,
you want to talk
like
that shit? This is what you get.
Mike Tyson in the shit out of me in my fucking face and stomach.
Not to say that our father was abusive.
No, he was not an abusive dad.
No.
He didn't leave like marks.
Guys,
he hit you just enough
guys,
that you didn't get
I got
no
this shit timestamped. You guys just went for 3 minutes just saying exactly how abusive your father is.
No,
he's a great dad.
Our dad is, I feel like, the more understanding parent at that, which makes it funny. And
He
we
was
didn't
probably
always
just
get our
the
ass
disciplinary though, and he's a man. You can't. At the end of the day, I am the man of the house. I'm not your friend. I'm your father. So anything that I do to you and it hurts, there's a 75% chance it was off of impulse. 25% chance I didn't really mean it. But you are not going to disrespect me in
and that's
my
what it was.
goddamn house.
Exactly.
That's how-
it was
that's
a
how pops
respect
are.
thing.
Get your finger out
And
your
we
mouth.
didn't get beat all the time. It's not like, every day.
Like every other. It was like
we
those
got
rare
beat
occasions.
when we deserved it. Because
Yes.
we
No,
really,
absolutely.
we really tried and
Absolutely.
tested
Like
our parents.
my parents, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they never took any.
They go to church.
They go to church. They never
church.
did any hardcore
That
substances.
says a lot when they go to church.
Hence
Yeah.
why my dad looks so young. He's 62, so
Yeah.
and he can still walk as being as big as he is. I'm still shocked at that.
Oh my
but
God.
but he's
Wait, your father's 60?
Yeah,
60,
62.
he just turned
Fuck outta
62.
He just turned
That nigga look like
62.
he's 45, 50 years old.
People be thinking he's my brother, like my older brother. I'm like, no, that's my dad.
If he
He's
ever,
29 years old.
My
today.
mom is 59.
My mom's gonna be 59.
your mom's, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our parents are good.
That means they lived a happy life though.
They did. They've been together
you know
for
what I'm saying?
36
You see that
years.
picture on the wall there?
Yeah.
That's the 20-year anniversary.
They've just
But your
celebrated
parents
35.
still looks like that.
And this is the 36 years they've been together.
They've
That's
been-
when they hit 20
But
years.
they still, your parents still
Yes,
looks
he
like
still
Yeah.
looks the same.
That was what, in
that. Your mom
2005?
too. Your mom still
Yep.
looks like
That was 2005.
Wow.
They've
still
been
together.
together 36 years this year.
Yep.
You know,
That's been on the
they've
wall
been through their ups and
forever.
downs and left
Don't-
and right. You
don't
know, like
people
all people in relationships are,
people
but they
don't get
managed to
that.
keep it together for
Like,
this
Yeah,
long.
people
like
don't
my
get that.
grandparents, they've been
My
together for
grandparents were
65
married for
years.
they've been together 65 years. They were married for 59 before
nigga.
my grandfather
Yeah.
died.
They were together for Social Security years. B.
They known each other since they were both 13 years old.
13 years
That's
old.
amazing,
They met
man.
when they were 13. They got
That's
married at
amazing.
17 and 18.
Had my mom at
And
21.
together every
But
day after that.
You see what I speak about when I say the values that you guys have. Those family values can't be made up. Like there's a different thing when you come from like a real religious family and you have to follow religious code. This is different. You guys don't have to follow this code, but the code of love is kind of in you. It's part of your value. When you love somebody and you're with somebody, you wish to have that longevity with them. You look forward to that, and it's proven that it's in your DNA because you got grandparents,
Yep.
parents. You guys know what it is to hold something, keep it. We're going to go through our shit, but we're going to get through this bitch. We got another 60, 70 years to go
Yep.
through.
Yep.
Oh my God, I don't even want to say that again.
Hey,
I
look,
don't
My
want to.
God, don't say 60 years.
my grandmother's 98. And
Our grandmother is
My great grandma passed away last year at 98. My grandma, her daughter, found her on her birthday in her bed, rigor mortis. And God is funny. That's why I say, if you are there, when I get up there, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, and then you can do what you want with me.
Oh my God.
Because I owe him one. I owe him one. It was her birthday. How you wake up on your birthday to walk over to see your mom, 98, fucking stiff in the bed, and 3 days prior she lost her husband, stomach infection, went to the hospital on a Friday, and didn't come back out. So
She died of
within
a
4
broken
days,
heart.
my grandma, you know what I mean? That's why I say when I get up there, I'm gonna slap the shit out of God. I owe him one. But yeah, like it's just fact. It's weird how life goes. Being 98, getting older, and when I think about what they had each other. My grandma, my great grandma, they had each other, family. You know what I mean? You guys, no matter what relationships you guys go through, you guys are always gonna have each other. And I know when parents have kids, that's the one thing that they really. No parent just wants to have one kid. I think if you just have one kid, that motherfucker was a mistake. Like, you did it to prove a point, or you did it to do something for yourself. But
some people can't have more than one kid, though.
That is true. Maybe I'm not talking about those though. I'm truly talking to the people that do have two kids, inspired because they want those two kids to grow up together and not be alone in this world.
Shockingly, it was supposed to be more of us, but I was
My mother
apparently.
saying, and after Richard, she was like,
My
nope.
dad wanted 4, but I was so
They can
bad.
still pop up one more.
That didn't work.
Be that as it may.
Gosh.
Anyways, moving on. So our dad is the cool dad. He's great. My parents really were there for me through a lot of stuff. You know, like, and I didn't realize this until I got into, you know, my 30s. Because when you're in your 20s, you think you know everything.
Yeah.
And you, like, just do things to experiment and X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z. And that's when I had all my substance and, like, mental health issues. So, it's not until, like, I don't want to say recently because it's been years that I've known this. I feel like I've lived a very blessed life. God watches over babies and fools, I'm telling you. So, like, I went through like the darkest times, you know, in like my late 20s, early 30s. And no matter what, no matter how messed up, I've done some fucked up shit to my parents. Like shit that is unforgivable, that you shouldn't even love nobody after all the stuff that I've done to them. And even through all of that, my parents loved me anyway. They brought me back. They cared about me. They helped me get into therapy. They helped me financially. Yeah. They helped me through it all. And they never gave up on me. And my parents never made me feel like less than.
Did you steal from them?
Yeah, I did. I was that bad. I stole things that were like stupid shit. Like shit that like you would never, you know, that you shouldn't have. You know, and I made excuses and lies, and that was because I was involved in an abusive relationship with a man at the time. Yeah, so that also, you know, contributed to like my downfall.
Lucky he wasn't the older brother.
Yeah, I know. You know, Richard, I shielded Richard from a lot of stuff in my life. I'm telling you, like I didn't want Richard to go through anything that I went through, so I never really like. But if I did see him like going a certain way, I'd be like, "Yo, don't do that."
Of course, because
Like,
you've been there before.
you know?
Like even with my relationships, with all the girls, like I try to bring it over. It was like I was never really worried about like my parents accepting or by anybody I did. It was always like my sister was like the final boss with everybody I did. Like okay, my dad will love everybody. He's level 1. He don't give a fuck. He'll bring you in.
Your sister's gonna be the closest one to you at the end of the day. She sees you going through it. She can't help but feel that towards you.
So there's been times like I didn't even have to bring a woman home and she already hated them. Like she'll see by a picture like nope, not.
Energy. I'm like energy.
Feel the energy
no.
off the floor. They'll be like,
No.
Yo, what do you think her? No.
Nope, not her.
Nope.
But you know, like my parents, like I was saying, they really supported me and they cared about me through everything, and I am so thankful and grateful for them.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for my parents, my praying parents, who I worried sick, I'm telling you, my mother has all that gray in her hair now. She didn't have any gray in her hair until like she got me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like she supported me and loved me at my most unlovable. My father too, you know. And there were times they could have just given up, just been like, "Fuck it, leave her to the streets."
Yep. They could have kicked us both out at
They could have
18
kicked
and
me
made
out,
us fend for
just
ourselves
left
in the
me,
world.
you know. And I'm not saying it was all, you know, sunshine and roses. They weren't like, "Oh yes, Candice." I mean, we had to go through our things, you know, like you do with a parent-child relationship.
Yep.
But I feel like now we're in a better place.
Yep.
You know, because they still love me.
Yep.
If I was my kid, boy, I don't know.
You're gonna have to flip a coin.
If I'm being honest, though, that shows on you guys. That shows on you guys that your parents are those forgiving people, supportive people. That shows on you guys. Like, I don't want to put. This is perfect. So weird, oddly enough. All right, so brutally honest. My mom came over to see me yesterday. I dismissed her. Because you know what my mom came over to see me yesterday for? She didn't come over to see me. She came over for a bag of weed. She came over for a bag of weed. She was supposed to... She texted me several times Saturday night saying, "Hey, I'm going to do my hair. I want to come see you and the kids tomorrow." Then Sunday comes, or Saturday comes. She texts me Friday. Saturday comes. She goes, my stepfather, Will doesn't want to go over there because he says we stay there too long. I'm not going to go over. All of a sudden, she texts me. She goes, I'm downstairs. So I'm like, all right. She comes upstairs. She's like, you got weed for me? And I'm like, I just shake my head, bro. So she goes to the living room. She chills with the 9-year-old. And I give her weed. And her husband's waiting downstairs in the car. So I hear the phone ring. Come on, we gotta go. So she gets this. She's like, bye, booby, I love you. From a distance, from 6 feet away at a doorway. She's like, why are you so cold with me? And the brutal, honest truth, she hasn't been my mom since I slid out her vagina. You know what I mean? Like, she's my mom because I slid out her vajayjay. But other than that, her problem is there's no equal balance in a loving relationship. It's a unbalanced triple beam scale. And that shows because I'm the one that gets the collateral damage of it. Where my mom won't be involved. My mom won't help. Yo, bro, you think I go back to jail? I got a financial problem? Or if I was addicted to Molly for fucking 4 years of my life. You think mommy and daddy helped me get out of that fucking addiction? Hell motherfucking no. You know what I'm saying? Mommy and daddy have never, ever, ever been a safe space. A place I know I'm good. People to talk to. That I'm just like, all right, they gonna judge me. Hell no, they're gonna judge the shit out of me. But let me know it's my problem. Like, that's why I say it's great that it's the irony that I would have two great people with great parents, and I on the other end would be able to. I'm sitting here with you guys almost, and I just went through this just yesterday where I'm just like, damn, you still don't get it. You still don't get it. And as much as I express it and God bless my grandfather, I love him. You know, he's a paraplegic in a hospital right now. But all my life, he's only said like 4 words to me. It's like, I love you, okay, and I know. He don't have conversation. Like, he don't. That's all he says. My mom is turning into her father. It's always, okay, I love you, I know. But there's no real understanding behind those words. There's no real. They're just saying it to say it. They don't have, unfortunately, they don't have the wherewithal to put their love in more than one place. That's what having a family and raising children is. Taking love away from just your lover or just yourself and being able to spread it across the board amongst an entire family so you guys can equally share that same love and grow and become something of what you two have become. For your very first episode, your father pops his head in and just like, I know I got no cameras on me, but they just laugh just because he loves it.
Like those clown dolls that you see.
He
like,
loves it, and that's what I'm talking. That's the best thing that you can wish for from your parents, for them to love everything that you fucking do. And I won't say my parents don't love everything that I do, because they absolutely love everything that I do. But they gotta know something. I don't do that shit for them, and that's their fault. I don't do that shit for them. I left that shit a long time ago. Like, I'll be brutally honest. I don't answer that first text message when they text me, because I always feel like they need something.
Yeah.
That's not the way you guys feel with your parents, and that's not fair. That's not fair. I don't get it. You know, we're all equally not bad people. But certain parents just never grew up. They never grew up. They themselves were kids having kids. And all respects to you, Mom, but I tell you, you should have fucking swallowed me. Did me a favor.
Oh my God. And what's so crazy is that, like, some people have so much potential to be great people and so much potential to, you know, change the world even. But what I realized at this age is that not everybody lives up to their potential.
Nope.
You know, you can have all the potential in you, but if you don't live up to it, if you don't speak behind it, if you don't pray behind it, if you don't give that energy to that potential, it's just wasted potential. And it is what it is. You know, you got some people you love and you love them wholeheartedly. You love people the way that they love you. Like I love Richard the way that I feel he loves me. Right, Richard? And like I love my sister like that. I love all of my friends like that. You know, I give so much love to the people who I know really love me. But there's some people you have to love at a distance, you know, because you can't give them all that energy that you give certain people. Like the way I love my brother is not the way I love my aunt.
Of course.
Or the way I love like some of my cousins, you know.
Of course.
You know.
Yep.
Or even some of all my friends I love. My friends, I'm telling you, they're my friends because they were there for me.
Yeah, there's a reason.
You know, like, and I have like a handful of friends. Then I have friends who are like, you know, then I have people who, you know, who say that they're my friend, but I ain't their friend. Like, not to be funny, because people, like, we could be cool and we can have a conversation. And they're like, oh, you my friend. And I'm like, I guess.
I'm just good at talking to you.
I guess. Like, if that makes you feel good.
I just know how to talk to you.
I can be cordial with you, but some people can't tell the difference.
Some people don't know the difference between being my friend and, like, acquaintances, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when I had my other job, when I was working at my job, like, I was cool with a bunch of people, but y'all niggas ain't my friend. If I have not talked to you outside of work, don't consider yourself my friend. You're my coworker. Like, we're cool at work, like, yes, but when you see me outside after I've clocked out, you don't know me no more. Like, that's it. Don't talk to me in the street. Like,
we don't have nothing that we can relate to.
You know, because I'm definitely going to walk past you like I ain't never met you a day in my life. Sorry to say it. That's just what it is.
Even, like, with this whole thing, like, for me, like, when it comes to potential and, like having any type of talent, like, I never thought I would be doing podcasts in my entire life. It was just something that I literally thought of, like, hey, I want to really get my feelings and emotions out and just have something that's, like, mine, something that makes me feel good. Like, even with music, like, I was scared to rap. I didn't even know I had any type of ability to rap until I just said, you know what, let me give it a shot. So I got, like, really into poetry. It was mostly because, like, of, like, my... Like you, like, doing a lot of poetry when I was younger, you would use it to express yourself. And I would, like, read some of the stuff you would, like, say. I was like, oh, this is some raw shit. It's like some Maya Angelou type shit. And I was like...
It influenced you.
It influenced me enough to, like, hey, let me just see if I can get this a shot, like, on a whim. So I randomly reached out to a studio, which ultimately led me to Cause. And I took those trips to Yonkers to try to record something. And took me a while, but eventually, you know, the time and patience and believing in myself, I said, let me see what I can work with here.
It's so crazy that Richard says all this because, honestly, truly, Richard is the bravest person that I know. Like, the bravest, most inspiring person I know. And I was so envious of Richard for so long. And not like in like horrible, like I wish bad upon him way. I was envious because I wanted to be as brave as him. You know, I wanted to be as inspirational as him. And I always held myself back. You know, because like I was always afraid to fail, especially after you've been an addict. The last thing you want to do is go back there. You know, like you don't want to try certain things because you're like, nah, because if it don't work out, then you set yourself up for disappointment. It's a different level of disappointment, you know. But Richard was always so brave, and I was so envious of that because like he would try anything. Like he would just go out there and do like the most random things, get into the yo-yoing, get into the rapping, getting into talking to people, doing interviews, podcasts, this and that. Shit that regular people are like, nah, you got to be a certain way. You got to look a certain way. Richard don't care. He could walk out here in his bunny pajamas and a SpongeBob hat and have a conversation with somebody. And that's just like his life. You know, he lives his life on his own terms to the beat of his own drum. He's always been that way. And I was always envious of that, you know, but I've always been so proud of Richard because he never gives up. No matter how like much the odds are against him, he'll be like, oh, well, we could do it this way. Let's try it another way. Like if it doesn't work out one way, let's do it another way. You know, like he's never just like, oh, okay, we're not going to do it. Let's just like me. I'm ready to give up. Like, all right, it didn't work. Let's move on. But he's like, nah, let's try it this way. You know, like the way his mind works is just like so good. And you can tell that he's a good and genuine person. You know, that's why so many people like follow Richard and keep up with Richard and like keep him going. You know, and I feel like all the support that people do with the podcast and with the music and the X, Y, and the Z and everything that he has going on, it fuels him to continue to do what he does. And he don't care that he got to work his 9 to 5. Right after his 9 to 5, he's going to the studio. He's calling you like, oh, what are we going to do for Sunday? Oh, this X, Y, and Z. You know, like I love that Richard is the way that he is.
Did you ever get scared when you were like when you had your addictions that he would follow?
Yeah, I did. But like I always felt I always sheltered Richard from like everything I did. Like even when my parents used to fight and stuff, I'd be like, "Oh, Richard, let's go do something else," because I never wanted him to feel that energy from my parents. When my parents went through all the stuff that they went through, Richard didn't know shit. He was
I still
oblivious.
don't.
He's still oblivious to the world. Like when my parents had like their marital issues, he's oblivious to that.
Oh, really?
When I was going through my addiction, oblivious. He's like la la la, like floating through life because I never like not to even be funny about it because I never wanted Richard to see me differently than what he knew me as. I didn't want him to see his parents differently, you know? Like, I wanted him to have, like, a stable life. Because I come from a very unstable, like, even though we grew up, my parents were great. We grew up in a pretty stable household. I went through a lot of stuff. I'm a victim, first, of sexual abuse. I'm a victim of drug abuse. I'm a victim of, like, being in an abusive relationship. I went through the ringer. I'm telling you, I could write a book. Honestly, true.
Maybe you should
write a book.
So
maybe you should though.
I'm writing a children's book. It's gonna come out. Me and my best friend Joey. We're writing a children's book.
Trying to compete with our other cousin's book.
Cool. Oh, purchase. What is it? Responsible me.
Irresponsible me. I am
Not
irresponsible.
irresponsible me.
I am irresponsible. Something. I'm sorry, TJ. We forgetting your book. I thought it was I am irresponsible me. I got it upstairs.
I am responsible me.
I really think it's I am responsible.
No, I don't think it's that.
I am irresponsible me.
Irresponsible me.
All right, look, we're really butchering your book right now, TJ. We're very sorry.
Look it up.
Shout out to TJ.
Yeah, Richard, look it up.
Hey, look at shit. Who got their phone on you? Oh, my phone's recorded right there. Look it up. It's on Amazon.
It's by Terry
Ammons. Terry Ammons Jr. That's our cousin.
I think it's Grateful Responsible Me.
By
Really Levon Carter.
Levon Carter, you know, that's his
model name.
You know, he be doing some model shit. We gotta get him on here too, man. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna ask him, yo, get your ass over here, man. He's one of those. For those who don't know, Terry Ammons is our cousin. He's actually our second cousin.
Yeah, and that's what's so crazy about it. It's like what we were saying about
I am
Terrence Ammons Jr.
Just look up. Well, I think it's used for Terry. Terry.
Ammons is AMMONS and Jr. Damn, we just put out your whole government. But whatever.
He has government out there, so we put a government out there.
So be that as it may.
He's a public figure now.
They grew up in certain environments. And even still, they're successful.
Helpful, responsible me.
Helpful, responsible me.
This is my job. This is what I'm here. Fact check.
So he's a published children's author. He's a teacher, right?
I think so.
I don't want to, because I see him post stuff for children and helping out.
You want me to read this? It says, born in New York City. The author, born in New York City in the early 1990s, spent much time entertaining himself as an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was. He didn't become a older brother until he was like in his 20s.
No, his sister just turned 2, right?
Yeah, he's like 20-something, ain't he?
He just turned 30.
That's
like having a daughter.
He just turned 30.
In his late 30s.
Yeah, that's like having a daughter.
Yeah.
That's not even having a fucking...
He used to say that they're adorable.
The pictures together.
Yeah, so shout out to you, TJ. You're amazing.
You know, he's a perfect example of, like, he grew up in a situation where, like, his mother was basically a single mother. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, his father was there for him financially. Not to talk crap about my cousin, because he's a strong man.
He's extremely strong.
His father is a strong man.
He holds us down. He was
always there for his kids.
He holds everything down.
Because they were young. He was 16, I think, when he had TJ.
Yeah, he was real.
So, like, you know, you can only do so much as a teenage
Your brain ain't fully developed till 25.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is. But they know their history better than we do. But from outsiders looking in, like, he grew up in a certain situation, and look, he still made something of himself. There was no excuse.
He's a model and a children's author.
Like he drove himself. You know what I'm saying? You have to drive yourself. You have to have that inner fire within you to be like, you know what? I'm going to be better than my parents were. I'm going to be better than this person was. X, Y, Z.
And he's doing it, and I'm very happy for him, man. And I hope one day he, I hope he becomes the most successful person ever.
Yes, don't forget to take care of us.
And
no, let me stop. Those, the family members who get money, and then you be like,
I can only imagine if, like, this shit blows up, or if the music shit blows episodes. So something blows up. I can only imagine who's gonna come out the woodwork. Oh my god, watching Granny Mugger and fucking
Granny Mugger. We have a cousin who's the Granny Mugger. If you Google it,
if you Google Granny Mugger, that's our cousin.
He got beat up by the old lady.
Stop looking over there.
Trying to rob her.
All right. So, anyways, I think it's almost time to wrap this up right now. Let's
look out for Rapping Sip.
Yes,
that's gonna be our
flagship podcast.
Our dear
we're doing.
Crushed Ice.
Yes.
I don't know if you caught our first season of Rapping Sip.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we had a lot of good things going on, but we're gonna come back with Rapping Sip.
And
we got a lot of other things in the works, and
yes,
fuck with us. Follow me at Contrary Candice on everything. Yeah, not like Richard, who has 100 different things. It's not just Richie Loves Yo-Yos.
But it's mainly Richie Loves Yo-Yos. Facebook, Richie Loves Yo-Yos. Everything. All this right here is Richie Loves Yo-Yos. You can easily find me anywhere. Give me money on PayPal, Venmo.
Give me money on PayPal.
If you support the channel. Anyways.
You can follow me at Contrary Candice on everything. Cash App too.
I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video.
Only hypothetically.
I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video so you can follow everywhere. Thank you all so much for watching episode 7. It's been an incredible ride. Thank you for appearing on the show. Remember, look out for Rapping Shit. We're going to have a lot of dope. This is only the beginning. We've got so many things going on. This is minute. We're influencers now. We're fucking dope.
Oh, my God.
Right? So this is Rapping Shit. So check y'all later. Episode 7. Pigkaso's basement, biatch! Alright, I'm fucking hungry because my stomach's been growling like crazy.
Damn, Richard.